Henry Purcell was born in the Westminster area of London. There were two brothers at this point. One was Thomas Purcell and one was Henry Purcell Sr. And we're unsure about which of these two brothers must have been Henry Purcell's father. Both these brothers were musicians, and it's safe to say that the two of them did have a fairly large influence on the young Henry Purcell. The Chapel Royal was a body that existed at that point of time. It was a body of priests and singers that followed the monarch around and served the king's spiritual needs. Henry Purcell was picked to be a singer at the age of 6 as a part of this Chapel Royal. He was said to be one of the youngest singers to be picked for this choir. So the 12 young children that were picked to be a part of the choir, in addition to singing, were also taught to play instruments like the violin, the organ, and lute. Captain Cook was the teacher of these 12 children and might have had an influence on Henry Purcell's composition style. Henry Purcell was 11 when he composed his first ever piece of music. At the age of 14, even though he was very young, he was given the role of assisting John Hingston as being the keeper and repairer of His Majesty's organs. Henry Purcell's style of composition was influenced by Pelham Humphrey, John Blow, and Captain Cook, because his style of composition incorporated not only the traditional English style, but also borrowed flavors from the Italian and French styles as well. Purcell was 16 when he saw his composition in print for the first time. At the age of 20, Henry Purcell was appointed to be the organist at the Westminster Abbey, a role which is considered very prestigious. And he was also now given the role of being the keeper and repairer of His Majesty's organs full-time, as John Hingston had died by this point. Henry Purcell composed a lot of music for the church, the court, and theatre. Italian opera was becoming very famous in England at this point. Initially, it was rejected by the audience for being a little too flamboyant. And so Henry Purcell's composition Dido and Aeneas became very popular and is said to be one of his most popular compositions. Purcell's life ended in an early demise at the age of 36, and he was laid to rest beside the organ at the Westminster Abbey.